The DxO PhotoLab 9 interface has been carefully laid out so users can quickly find the tools they need. Of course, every user is different, and the tools that you like to use the most may not be the same ones that I like to use the most. With this in mind, not only do you have two different default layouts in PhotoLab, you can create your own custom layout and save that to recall at any time. Watch this. To access the different default layouts, in the Customize tab, go to the Workspaces menu, and you can choose between DxO Standard and DxO Advanced. We'll start with Standard. In the Standard layout, over here on the right, you'll see the basic tools layout that shows all the most common tools you might use, such as white balance, exposure, selective toning, that's highlights, midtones, and shadows, smart lighting, and so on. These are the most common tools that you would use in basic photo editing. But this doesn't mean that you can't access all the other tools. They are all up here. Using this row of buttons at the top, you can selectively show all of the filters pertaining to light, color, detail, and so on. Each one of these different categories contains a bunch of different effects, all the way over to local adjustments. The only difference between this layout and the advanced layout is that when you load advanced, instead of just seeing the basic tools, you see all of the tools available at once. Every tool at your disposal is all listed here, and you'll see they load all collapsed, so they don't take up a lot of space. If I want to adjust my exposure, I click on the exposure header, and that opens up the exposure tab. There's contrast, there's vignetting, and so on. And you can see that they're all categorized. These are the lighting ones, these are color, detail, and so on. You still have access to the buttons at the top to show all of the light, color, and detail filters, and so on. But with none of these selected, you see everything listed at once here. In either mode, you also have these two buttons up here, Favorites and Active Filters. Let's start with Favorites. When I show favorite corrections, it shows me any filter that I've added a star to. You can see here that I have Exposure, Clearview Plus, and White Balance, all with a star next to them. If I turn that off, I'll see all my filters, and let's add a star to Vignetting. I'll add that, then go back up here and click the star again, and now I see Vignetting has been added back into that. So if I have a favorite tool, I can mark it with a star and then quickly access it from here. By the way, this actually combines with these buttons here. So right now I'm seeing all of my favorites, but with the Favorites button activated, if I then click on the Light button, I only see my lighting favorites. So there's my Exposure, Clearview Plus, and Vignetting. If I switch this over to color, I'm only going to see the white balance. Then we have the Active Corrections. This shows everything that is actively being used on the current photo. So if you're trying to find an adjustment that you already made and want to make a little tweak to it, this is how you can easily find everything that has already been used and nothing that hasn't. In fact, if you turn off an adjustment in here, let's say I turn off the exposure changes, then it disappears from that list because it's no longer active. But what if you want to completely rearrange the layout, building your own perfect photo editing app? You can do that. Everything in here is customizable. I can take any palette, let's say the histogram palette, and collapse it by clicking on the header. So let's say that I never use Move and Zoom. I'll go ahead and collapse that, and I don't really use the projects here, but I do like the history and I do like the histogram, so I can open and close as so. But I can even move these around. Let's take the histogram and move that to the bottom of the list. There we go. Let's take my preset editor and move that up to the top, and I'll open that as well. I can even move them to a different place. Let's say that histogram, I don't want over there on the left, I actually want it over here on the right. Done. Or I can make it a floating palette. Just click and drag it out, and now it's a floating palette. And no matter what I do here, no matter which of these I collapse and open, move, or change positions of, if I go up here now and I create a new workspace by selecting Save Workspace, I'll call this My New Workspace, and hitting Save, now as I go back to the other workspaces, let's say I go back to Standard, everything rearranges the way it was before. Now if I go back to My New Workspace, I'll see that custom layout just as I had saved it. But it goes even farther. Did you know that you can actually create your own customized palette from scratch? This is cool. I'm going to go back to the default advanced workspace, and then under palettes, create a new palette. It needs a name. We'll call it My Palette. And it starts off blank. From this little drop down here, I can choose any of the adjustments that I have available. So let's build my own custom palette. Exposure is pretty common, so I'll add that in there. I use my tone curves a lot, so let's add that too. Here we go, tone curve. And then I really enjoy doing a film look, which means I want to get into my color rendering. So I'll go to color and black and white rendering, and that's going to give me all of my film looks. From here, I can access not only all of the native film looks, but also all of the film pack film looks that I have installed as well. Now you might be thinking, hold on a second, I don't have those. What's going on here? Well, that's because I have DxO Film Pack installed as well. With Film Pack installed, all the tools from Film Pack actually show up here in PhotoLab, meaning I can access all the tools from Film Pack without ever opening it. I'm building my own custom palette using some of those tools as well. Once you've completed the palette as you like it, you can use only this palette if you want. I'll go ahead and close out all of these other ones. Let's just get rid of everything here, totally empty out this space. And then I'll take my own custom palette and dock it in there. And now I'll save this as my own workspace, and we'll call this My Film Tools. Now, as I switch between my standard and then back to My Film Tools workspace, you'll see that I have my own complete custom palette in here. And that is how you can customize PhotoLab 9 to make it completely your own.